Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I have another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video, and I will be covering the newest Star Wars game, Project Maverick. Project Maverick just got a gameplay reveal yesterday at the EA Play event, and it is officially named Star Wars Squadrons. We've got a lot to discuss today, so let's get right into it. Star Wars Squadrons is a solely starfighter combat game. There will be no ground combat. It's just going to be space battles, and it's only going to be in the first-person view. So you'll be playing from the cockpit. It's going to be really immersive, and I think I might like that. I'm going to be playing a lot of Starfighter Assault, get myself ready, and I think it's going to be really fun. The gameplay reveal looked amazing. The gameplay looked really immersive and very challenging because instead of just like Battlefront 2 where all you do is speed up, slow down, turn, and shoot, in this case you have shields and you can like divert power to the shields or the engines and all that fancy stuff that you hear in the movies. Divert auxiliary power to rear shields and all that. You can do that, and you can do a lot more maneuvers. Like you can do a sick like 180 like Rey did in the Falcon on Jakku. So it's gonna be really challenging to master the controls, but it's also gonna be incredibly fun. It's going to be only in the original trilogy era, the New Republic versus the Empire. It's just after the Death Star was blown up, and as of now, that's going to be the only era. There's going to be a campaign for both the Empire and the Rebellion. Sounds like it's just going to be a single campaign where you kind of switch perspectives, switch back and forth between the perspectives, and you're gonna have one pilot for the Rebellion, one pilot for the Empire, and you're gonna go do increasingly hard missions that you're gonna attempt to complete. And then once you finish that, there's gonna be multiplayer content, which is dogfight mode and fleet battles. Those are the two modes that have been announced. Fleet battles is gonna be the main mode, but I'll touch more on the game modes later. The gameplay reveal that I watched live at the EA Play event looked honestly amazing. It looked super immersive, and this is a good thing because Squadrons is going to have VR support, and it's also going to be cross-platform, which is a huge perk because everybody loves to play with their friends, but if your friends are on a different platform, oftentimes you can't play with them. This will not be the case with Squadrons. Squadrons, whether you're on Xbox, PC, or PlayStation, you can all play together. I'm not sure about the Nintendo Switch yet, but I'm assuming it'll come there eventually. So, it's VR supported, so if you want to play in VR and get even more immersive gameplay than it already is, you can do that, and it's cross-platform, so you can play with your friends. So it's gonna be a great game just for the players, because the cross-platform, and if you play in VR, and I think a lot of people are gonna love it. I mean, a lot of people are still kind of mad that it's not a Battlefront 3, but I honestly think it's gonna be really cool. Squadrons is going to release on October 2nd of this year, which is sooner than anybody expected, I think. And the price is going to be $39.99, $40 basically, and there is a pre-order available. I think I'm probably going to pre-order the game. I was a little bit on the edge, but then when I saw the gameplay, it was just amazing, so I'm going to pre-order sometime in the next few days, and please let me know down in the comments whether you're going to get the game or not, and if you are, whether you're going to pre-order it. The game is actually quite cheap for a Star Wars game. It's not a full normal $60. And this makes a lot of people believe that there's going to be a lot of microtransactions, but from everything I've heard so far, there will not be any microtransactions because Battlefront at launch had microtransactions. Everybody hated it. That's why Battlefront sucked when it launched. But then they got rid of microtransactions, and now we're good. It sounds like EA has learned their lesson and are not going to have microtransactions in the game, at least for gameplay, competitive advantage, like stuff. I think there may still be microtransactions for skins and cosmetics, but as far as tactical advantages and like things to buff your ship, those will come purely through gameplay. Can't get them any way else. If you pre-order the game, you'll get a few extra skins at your disposal, which is nice little perk. So that's the main reason why I'm gonna pre-order it. And the skins they're nothing incredible, but hey, I mean, if you're using them, everybody knows you pre-ordered the game, so I mean that's just kind of bonus points. So that's what I'm gonna be doing it for. So the skins, it sounds like the customization is gonna be like off the charts. There's like 60 different like attachments for your ship. You can change the playstyle of your ship dramatically. There's gonna be 4 different ship classes, which is fighters, interceptors, supports, and bombers. I'll go into those in more depth later, but you can customize basically everything. From the gameplay reveal, it looks like you can even put like little personal items in your cockpit. Like in the gameplay reveal, there's a little Ewok bobblehead in one of the cockpits, and I'm just thinking like, I may not want an Ewok, but still, like that's just amazing. And there's also numerous skins for your pilots and your ships and just about everything else imaginable. So this is gonna be a highly customizable game. You can basically change your cockpit, your pilot, your ship to whatever you want. And I think that's just going to be really incredible. Now let's get into the game modes. 2 main game modes are going to be dogfight and fleet battles. Dogfight is basically just going to be a team deathmatch, like heroes versus villains. Just try and kill the enemy team. Don't let them kill you. And that's what that mode will be. It sounds like it's going to be a smaller mode because the main mode, the main attraction, big dog, is going to be the fleet battles. This is like Starfighter Assault to the next level. At the start, you go out into the middle of the battlefield and have a dogfight stage, and if you win that stage, then you go off to attack the enemy's capital ship. And once you destroy their capital ship, you go on to attack their flagship, and destroying the enemy's flagship means you win. So it's gonna be like incredible battles. Like there's just gonna be so many things to do. No match will be the same, even though the objectives are the same, because it's just one era, the original trilogy era with the New Republic and the Empire. But just with the huge variability of playing in a starship and all the different customization options, nothing is ever going to be the same. And the fleet battles are probably what I'm going to play like 90% of the time. The teams will be 2 squadrons, which is 5 players, 5 ships, and you can squad up with your friends. You can, I think you can also squad up with the AI if you wish, but I don't think anybody's going to want to do that. But a squadron of 5 versus a squadron of 5, I think that's going to be really fun, and that's what the gameplay is going to be. Now let's get into the different types of ships in Squadrons. There is basically the same classes as Battlefront 2, except with one additional one, the support class. But let's go starting with the fighters. Fighters are basically just the most versatile thing, jack of all trades. Just like you can do anything you want with them. They're pretty versatile. They're essentially just gonna be good for anything, and there's gonna be the TIE Fighter for the Empire, X-Wing for the New Republic, obviously, and then there's gonna be the Interceptors. These are specialists at tracking down and killing the enemy ships, and these guys are gonna be faster, but not quite as tough, and those will be the TIE Interceptor and the A-Wing. The third class, which is a new one, the supports, is going to be a very unique class because basically the idea is to either support your teammates or disrupt the enemy. It's going to be very interesting to play. It's the TIE Reaper for the Imperials and the U-Wing for the New Republic. They look like a lot of fun to play, so I'll have to look into them once I get the game. The final class is, of course, the Bomber. These guys are basically just your heavy class, essentially. Go destroy, if you want to go deal a ton of damage to your enemy's ships, capital ships and flagships, take the Bomber because they've got the heavy firepower, and it'll be the Y-Wing for the New Republic and the TIE Bomber for the Empire. So those are the 4 classes we'll be able to play as, and I don't think there's going to be anything for like heroes, but from all the customization options, you can turn a bomber into an interceptor essentially. Of course, the gameplay for this is only going to be in the first person because that's the better immersion option, and it'll be interesting to get used to playing from the cockpit instead of out behind your ship like in Battlefront. I'm going to be playing a lot of Starfighter Assault and the first person to get used to this in the coming months, so I look forward to doing that. The controls in your cockpit are going to be quite interesting because it's like you're actually in a cockpit. All your health and speed and all your other displays are going to be actually in your cockpit, which varies from ship to ship, which I think is really cool. So it's going to be interesting to get the hang of the controls. And like I said, each ship looks different, so that like increases, like, I like the TIE Fighter better than the X-Wing because you can see all its like displays easier. I don't know which ones I'll like the best yet, but that's for sure going to be a possibility. Another thing that I noticed was that the fighters and all the different classes on opposite sides did not have the exact same stats. The TIE Fighter is slightly faster than the X-Wing, which makes sense. And the U-Wing has slightly more health than the TIE Reaper. So it's going to be interesting to see how those small differences play out, because I think the TIE Interceptor may be slightly faster than the A-Wing, and there's all these just little small differences in the stats that it'll be interesting to see like how they affect the playstyle of each ship. But the greatest thing about this game, I think, is that we'll just be able to do tricks all over the place, because instead of just being able to turn and speed up, slow down, we'll be able to like do epic, like go up, drop back down on people, 180s and all that stuff. So it's gonna be pretty incredible to see like some of the things that people can do with the controls. And the other cool thing is that you can divert your power to shields or engines and all that stuff, which I just think is so cool. Like, this is the most immersive Star Wars game that has ever been made, I think, and I am really excited to get it. Overall, I think Star Wars Squadrons is gonna be really good. I'm for sure gonna pre-order it, and I hope to hear from you guys whether you're gonna get the game or not. As I said before, the game is releasing on October 2nd this year, and will release at the price of $40. I hope you guys are excited for Squadrons, because I sure am. And if you're not excited, please tell me why down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And with that, I'll see you guys out on the battlefront.